Bryan Bulaga is not a part of that. He's the pregame. Unfortunately, there was no. I was not a part of it because Marquette was playing at UConn because it would have been historic. How long's our Green Bay game night? 3 hours?
3 hours in length, yes.
We would have, by the way, good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon, evening. It's evening here.
Yeah,
good evening here. Yeah.
I would have spent the entire 3 hours on the craziest, goofiest, I don't even know if I can say stupid thing I have ever seen a football coach do in my life. I don't believe it's ever happened before. You're down 16-0. You have the ball, 4th down on the 4-yard line, and with 1 second left, you kick a field goal. I don't believe you've ever seen it any time in your life, unless maybe you had a field goal kicker who had never done it, so you thought you'd give it to him. That play has never been done, and I am incapable of understanding how anybody could do that. And we would have spent 3 hours doing it. There's no logical explanation for it. You've never seen it before, ever in your life. Last play of the game, down 16, and you kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Ever seen it before in your life?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I haven't. I don't. I mean, that would have been a good time to maybe dust off a red zone play that you wanted to try and see and do it.
And then his answer made less sense than what he did. He said, we didn't want to be shut out. You're not even playing your team. You have decided that you're not trying to win the game. You are playing backups. JV guys are playing. You're worried that you don't want them to get shut out? What?
Yeah. I don't really know what to say.
You can't.
I don't really know what to say.
No one knows what to say because it's indefensible. The only thing anybody can say was it was a 13.5-point favorite, and he kicked the field goal so that anybody who had the Packers in 13.5 would win. I don't want to go there because that's really serious stuff.
Yeah.
You can't say, but
I can't say that. Yeah.
And I
have no idea about
right.
that.
No, you can't. There's no, and it just keeps getting worse. If I was a crazy owner, I'd have fired him. That guy can't coach my team. How do I know I never could know. It's incapable of defending the position. And I don't want to call it stupid because it's really not stupid because you're not going to win the game either way, right? Now, I mean, you could just, he could take all his clothes off. That wouldn't be stupid. It'd just be odd.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, the outcome's not changing, but to say, like, we just didn't want to be shut out.
And yes, you know what? You're worried about your backups, and you don't care about the game. That's why you're playing the backups. You don't want them to get shut out. Plus, I wish I was there. Dude, you got a guy, Looney Tune, or what's his name? Freddie Tune, Clay Tune, Looney Tune. All right, this is his only chance. They've scored no points. He would have a chance maybe to throw a touchdown pass, right? Give the dude a chance, right?
Correct. He's been beaten down all game.
Yes.
Give a chance.
Because it's likely he'll never play again in the NFL, or very little. This is his chance to get and if the game was over and they had scored, everybody in the locker room would have been going crazy, happy for him, right? In a meaningless situation.
Yeah.
He now has an event. But no. LaFleur didn't want to do that because I can't. I don't know how I would have filled 3 hours. Like, just give me a reason. There's no, and it's.
There isn't. I mean, because and we can't say morale because that's thrown out right when you.
Right. You're not trying to win. You're playing JVs. You can't say you care.
Yeah. And you could tell by his reactions on the sideline throughout the game that he was like, this is brutal. Like, this is brutal. Like, you could just tell by the way he was on the sideline. I mean, just completely not the way he normally is, right? Just some of the mannerisms and things like that. But that decision was made how long ago, right?
He should have let somebody else call the plays or, he should have given the responsibilities to other people that would appreciate it for a chance, right? He could have asked me. I would. If he'd asked you to call the plays, would you have come? Would you have done it? Sure.
Well, yeah, but nothing. I mean, to his credit, and it would have been mine too. I don't know what's going to work with the.
Of course not. No, nothing's going to work. You saw it, but
nothing works.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't. I
don't. I'm with you. I don't understand. I think for me personally, and I saw you post on X about it, and a lot of people have been kind of trying to get after me a little bit about it lately. Sitting every single starter to me was the bit of a head scratcher, and that's just my opinion personally. Like, I get the obvious guys. Jacobs, not a chance. Zach Tom, not a chance. Jordan Love, not a chance. Watson, not a chance. Like, certain guys, yes. Like, I get it, right? And I'm all for it. They're dealing with things. I don't know if Christian Watson's dealing with things, but he probably is. Don't play them. But we're talking about almost every single guy did not do much. Melton was the only regular starter. I get it. He's a year one guy. He needs to play. But there's other guys on that offensive line that could have used some work, right? There's some guys that could have used some work. There's wideouts that would have benefited from running routes. There's defensive linemen that could have used the rush reps against good tackles. That's just my opinion on it, right? And
yeah, I mean, I'll defer to you because I just don't know. It's because, like, if we're not going to play some guys, we shouldn't play anybody. Like, if you're afraid people are going to get hurt, and we're not playing anybody. We're not even showing up. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you decide you don't care,
yeah,
then you go there, because I think it used to be, to some degree, that you did care, but you weren't going to play people that are already hurt.
Yes.
Now, the guys that need rest, you're going to rest. More so than normal. You, on a scale of 1 to 10, you had to be a 6 not to play. Now, you could be a 2 or a 3, and you wouldn't have to play. But I'm sure somebody said, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. But what if the person that's not hurt gets hurt in that game?
Yeah. And I understand that, and I that's why I understand what people are saying, and I'm not saying you needed to play these guys the entire game. Like, I just mean some meaningful reps before you go into a playoff game.
Yeah.
When you've been on a 3-game losing streak and things haven't been going well, you want at least some positive like mojo to go your way, right? Like, you want something positive to look at on film and for the guys to feel it and be like, okay, like, that was good work. I got a quarter in, or I did this, or like, it's something positive to look to and feel good about going into Chicago. Now you've taken a week off, and you got to find that rhythm. It's when Chicago, I get they lost, but they played. Everyone played, and it was a very intense game, and it was a meaningful game, and they cared, and the passion was there. You could watch that game, and you could see it. Even though they lost, I get it, but they played. And now they're ready to go for this one, right? And now Green Bay has to find that somehow and be ready to go in Chicago. And you're not going to do that magically overnight. Like, yeah, you're gonna practice, and hopefully the practices are clean and crisp and all those things. That's what you need to have. But you're not going to get that going against practice squad guys. I assure you that. And it's not going to become like, okay, we kicked off the rust. I went against the practice squad guy. Like, I'm ready to go. Just doesn't work that way.
And you've lived it, right? I mean, this is you had some experience. So you in the historic one, 2011, but you had 2 weeks off.
Yeah,
because you were the top seed.
Yeah, and we were never the 1 seed again. And honestly, like, I think that's better off. I really do. Like, and to be honest with you, like, yeah, it's nice to have that week off, but there's something to be said about playing. And playing and going into the next game and playing again and playing and playing and playing. And, like, all our times that I look back on our playoff, like, runs, we were always besides that 2011 year, we were the 2-seed or lower. So we were playing wild card weekend. Like we were going. I mean, and that's the way it. I mean, 2014, they hadn't changed it yet, but that was a good thing for us because Aaron had popped his calf. So he got a week off, and that was actually really good for him because he popped his calf, and our best player needed rest. So yeah, like to me, like that's the benefit of that of 2014 was our starting quarterback needed a week, and we got the 2-seed, and he got a week, and he was able to play really well against Dallas, and he played well against Seattle, even though we lost. But like, there's certain situations that all the other times, like 2016, we had to rattle off 8 straight to get into the thing, and then we got into the thing, and we made it all the way to the NFC Championship. So like, and 2010, we needed to win the last 4 to get into the playoffs, and then we rattled off 4 more. So like, I just always think that playing, if you can, is a positive thing because it keeps some momentum going for the guys that they can look on tape, they can look on film, they remember the way the game is, how fast it's moving. Because once you get into the playoffs, everything's amplified. Every play means more. The speed is ramped up, the intensity's ramped up. Everything is so heightened that if you take time off and the team that you're playing has already been playing and they've been playing emotionally charged games, they're ready for that. They understand that. They feel that, and that's the only difference. And I get like there was nothing to play for in Minnesota, but your mindset should be you're playing to get ready for the next week. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to play some snaps to get ready for what I'm about to face next week. So I'm going on the road again. It's going to be an environment like it was in Minnesota, and it's going to be a good defense like Minnesota. You just have to assume that. I get Chicago's not Minnesota defense, but it's playing mind games with yourself to be ready to go. And besides 2011, because Mike did pull me from 2011. I didn't play in that final game against Detroit. I don't remember taking the last week off or being sat in the last week to go into the playoffs. Because we were always fighting for position. We were always jockeying for position. So guys played. We were playing. And to me, that's and I get people are crazy. You can't have it both ways because what if someone gets hurt? Well, I get that, but what if someone gets hurt? Play one in Chicago. Like, and that's my only like thing. Like, this is the NFL, man. Like, players play, and injuries happen, and bad things happen all the time. Like, it's an unfortunate part of the business, but having your team sharp and crisp and having guys feeling ready to go is, I put a lot of stock in that because that's how we actually won it all. Like, that's the only reason why I say that. Like, is that's how we won it all as a 6 seed because we had to win out for 4 straight weeks and then go on a run. So that's the only reason why I say that. Maybe, hey man, you're thinking too long in the past. I get it, but that's what I got to rely on is that. That's all I have.
And the issue here would be, I don't know, I was going to ask you, did they ever ask the players and let them choose whether they want to or not? Say, Bryan, you want to play, or you can play if you want to? I suspect not, but that would be an option as well. Not every player feels exactly the way you do, right? Or maybe they all do. I don't know.
I was never asked. I was always told what I was doing. Yeah. Like, you're playing. Like, you're going to play. And it's like, okay. So, like my mindset was already that I'm going to play. Like, I'm playing. Like, it didn't matter what it was. Because until 2019, I was the youngest guy in the group almost always. So, like, I know I'm playing. Like, I was on lines with Sitton and Lang and then, like, Cliff and Tausch and Scott Wells. Like, I'm playing regardless. So, like, there was never, if someone was going to sit, it was going to be the older guys. And then they were going to rest them, and I would be the one that'd go out there and play.
Well, we're going to take a break, and then I'm going to ask you about to me, part of the emphasis would be on, and this is the coach or the players, feels like the team needs a win. Doesn't mean you're going to get one, but is there a need for momentum? I would say off the top, if you're a veteran player or a veteran team, you'd know that, like, I'm not sure Buffalo, the current Buffalo team, but then other teams, I mean, that to me is a coach, a decision that a coach could have. Like, these guys, I can't tell the world they're a little fragile, but they're in a position where that I'd like them to get a win. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but that will be the next question. Rob Demovsky on at 5:30 I'm sure he'll have a good answer. But I claim and stand by it, unless someone can give me an example, no one in their life has ever seen a team down 16-0 kick a field goal on the last play of the game. That, from now on, will be known as a LaFleur. It doesn't matter what I call it because it's never going to happen again. I can call it a homer, and you'll never see another one the rest of your life unless, as I said, if you had a young kicker or something, you wanted to get your kicker practice or your long snapper practice. That's not the case. It was a 24-yard field goal. Just,
I think McManus can make those. I think he can make those in his eyes closed.
Yes. But now, I think if your kid was a kicker, or if you had a family member or something like that, I mean, there would be some reason there. The only answer anyone can give, and I think it's wrong, is that the Packers were 13.5-point underdogs, and with the field goal, they covered. I'm not saying, and I honestly strongly don't think that was any influence whatsoever on LaFleur, but that is also the only answer that anyone can come up with to explain the absurdity of what was done. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Eastbound 94 starts to slow down from about Highway F all the way to Moreland, back on the brakes just east of 84th Street to Hawley Road. Westbound is backing up from about 17th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. We also have the right lane blocked right in the Stadium Interchange with a crash. Southbound 43, watch for delays from North Avenue down through the Marquette all the way down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from about Kilbourne all the way up past North. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mixed precipitation to the north, a chance of rain to the south, a low of 32. Tomorrow, morning rain, mostly cloudy, otherwise a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com. ESPNPackers.com.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's just it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Every game tells a story.
Oh, you want the full story?
From big-time players
Jaden Reed, make a man miss.
to clutch drives.
Love going to throw a fade here in the corner. It is caught for the touchdown.
It's time to give you the three pillars that built it. Independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities provides top-ranked care and service in a beautiful lake country setting. Visit threepillars.org today.
If ever Bryan Bulaga deserved a raise for a certain show, it would be this one for coming up with the three pillars of the game. Aside from the fact that it is three pillars and it's a fabulous place with all that room, this would be a game in which there might actually have been a half a pillar. But I look forward to the team player he is, Bryan Bulaga, coming up with the three pillars. And if you need any help, I'll be glad to assist him.
Well, I'm going to say the first pillar of this game that made the game was that Green Bay played almost nobody, right? There were guys on the field that you had never heard of or yeah. were brought up from the practice squad that week. And listen, I get everyone gets a, they get an opportunity to play and things like that, but it just was the biggest key of the game. Yes. I mean, that's just
to be fair, only on family, but it was historic for some people. I'm guessing there might be some that'll never play in another NFL game, right?
Yes, and based on the film, yes. I mean, I'm not trying to be really mean. I'm just saying,
yeah,
the performance. I mean, if you get your opportunity, I mean, I will say this. The defense actually held up pretty good.
I thought they were going to be your first pillar, yes.
But that was going to be my second.
All right, second pillar, the defense.
The defense played well.
Yes.
With literally a group of guys that don't play. The defense played really well.
I was going to hope that you would watch it a second time because I wanted you to tell me if there was anybody that you saw on the defense that caught your attention.
He's slipping my mind. It was the defensive end that just got activated, the draft pick that just got activated this weekend. He hadn't been activated. Was he the rookie or not the rookie but he just got activated this week to play. He's been practicing, but I think he was on injured reserve or whatever he was.
Sorrell, yeah, Baron Sorrell. He was actually a fourth-round pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he played well. I thought he showed some stuff, which is good because clearly defensive line is needed right now, right? Without Micah. So I thought he showed something. I mean, you go get Diggs. I thought for the most part he played well. Low passer rating, his debut. I thought he played well. So, the defense comes out. They give up 16 points, and you lose the game. I mean, 16 points given up in a game, that's pretty good.
Yes, that would be, that's about what I think. I don't know if it's Seattle or Houston leads the league at about that. I want the third pillar, the historic final play of the game. The unique, historic final play of the game, which will never be copied, hasn't been to this point, and will not be in the future. Down 16-0, kicking a field goal on 4th and 4 from the 5-yard line with 1 second left to play. Again, if you find such a situation, I would assume it's only because of the need to give a kicker some experience. But I feel pretty comfortable with, and I'll put this on Twitter because that means that if it has happened, someone will certainly find it and tell me I was wrong. Never has happened before in the history of, I don't know, organized football, NFL, college. As I said.
I do have an honorable mention, too.
Okay, yeah, go for
it. He maybe could be, Whelan, the punter, head of day.
Yes, he's a punter of the year.
Head of day. Punted really well. Good punts all day. I get he punted probably 30 times.
We may have this discussion later. I think there's nothing more irrelevant than a good punter. There's no indication anybody has, other than Ray Guy, who played 50 years ago. But where you punt the ball, yes, you punt it close inside the 20. That's helpful, but it depends so much more on your defense as to whether or not you stop people and the yardage. And yes, they have the. And let me ask you, Brian, when you look back on this season, do you go, they only won 9 games, but they had one hell of a punter? That's never been said.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's ever been said. I don't think that's ever been said. And what was it, the last few games he never even punted?
Yes, they had games in which he didn't punt and they lost. Now, that is amazing.
Yes, that is amazing.
That doesn't happen. I, of course, and punters have argued with me, but I would punt the ball out of bounds on every play. Then I don't have to worry about anybody getting hurt. I don't have to worry about any penalties. And punters have said it's too hard, and I disagree. You'd have to work on it, but you'd benefit from never having any returns. All you got to do is block, punt, and the play's over. And then
try to coffin corner it every time.
Every time, yes.
Yep.
Just like in most plays on the kickoff, I would kick it into the end zone. Where do they start it at? Is it the 30? Where do they get it? No, if you go too far, is it the 35? I forgot. I would give up. Like there was a play, was it the Baltimore? I think it was, the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. They kicked it, and the Baltimore guy ran it back to midfield. I'm never doing that. And I don't get anybody hurt. I don't have to worry about all these penalties. I'm eliminating special teams in terms of on a defense. Now, if they want to kick it to us, we'll try to do what we can.
Yeah, we'll play.
But, I said that.
It used to be. And you would know this too. It used to be like hang time and coffin corner were the most two important things for punters. So that's like what it used to be. Is like how long can it be in the air, and then how can you pin them into a corner?
And punters have gotten significantly better. I don't know if it was when the Australians, where they now get the ball to land and spin so that it stops instead of going forward, which is why I'm sure you were told that when people were fair catching a punt, you would never fair catch it inside the 10.
Correct.
But now they do because the punters are so good and the people that are getting
the
down
are
there.
Fast. Yeah, the gunners are fast.
Yeah, so, but anyway, I'm just eliminating any penalties. I'm eliminating any injuries. And so it costs me 2 yards or something. I think I can, the Homer punting school, another one of my ideas. I'm just too lazy to execute it. All right, I get to go to the cot. Oh, man, this is going to be good. 16-0. Yeah, let's kick the field goal. Rob Demovsky. I don't know that Brian's going to bring it up. He already did a great job with the hardest ever 3 pillars of the game. So I am in no way influencing you to ask about that because it is the Bears-Packers, and I will admit I'm excited about it to play the Bears. Wanted them to play the Bears, and I also think the Bears are a much easier choice than Philadelphia, but somebody could probably argue that point. I'll let you guys. Rob Demovsky and Bryan Bulaga next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Westbound 94, we do have a crash off on the right shoulder right in the stadium interchange. That means we've got backups coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. We've got eastbound also backing up from Highway F all the way through the Barker Road area. You're back on the brakes then from 76th Street to Hawley Road. And we've also got 4394 southbound. Just before you get to Oklahoma Avenue, we've got the center lane blocked with a crash there. That's got backups pretty much all the way back through the Marquette to about Fond du Lac Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mixed precipitation to the north, a chance of rain, a low of 32. Tomorrow, morning rain, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more attractive medical and employee benefit plans. They can be complicated, not when you've done it well for over 50 years. From health insurance to customized coverage options, Saganiac Planning's experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Over 50 years doing it well. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. to get started. Phone number, just remember 783-262-783. Roger Maris, 6161. I'm off to the cottage. Bryan Bulaga, the nice guy, will introduce Rob Demovsky, and they will take it away.
Rob, good evening. How are you?
I'm all right, Brian. How are you?
I'm great. You back in Green Bay, or you still traveling?
It was a fiasco. Little fiasco. Leaving the Metrodome last night in a rental car since I drove instead of flew, and got a flat tire pulling out of the dome, and basically, long story short, didn't get home till about 2 a.m. But I'm here.
Oh, yuck!
The life of luxury of a sports writer. Right?
Hold on, I got to interrupt here. So you get a rental car, you got a flat. Do you fix the flat? I've never had that happen. I want to know if I do.
and I will say National Rental Car was fantastic about it, but you call their helpline, they send somebody out to change the tire, which I could have done myself. I'm not a complete idiot. But they don't want you to do it for, I'm sure, liability reasons. But the problem is it's one of those little donut tires, and I'm driving 4 hours home, so that's not going to work. So then they change the tire. I go back to the Minneapolis airport, exchange the car. The whole process took about 2 hours. It could have been worse, I will say. And I will give National their props. They handled it about as well as you could handle.
All right, thanks for the info. Back to you, Brian.
So, Rob, there's not much to talk about from the game. I mean, I know Homer wants me to ask, and I'm going to ask it. The last play, have you ever seen anything like it?
That was bizarre, wasn't it? And, on a lot of levels, not the least of which was the point spread, right? I mean, that was completely bizarre. But then the other thing, too, is Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings coach, said, he wanted to be able to have the ball last and call a timeout and let Harrison Smith and the fullback who's going to retire kind of take the victory formation. But, hey, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I'm sure Matt LaFleur just didn't want to have to look at a 0 on the scoreboard next to his team's name. We didn't really ask about it because I didn't think it was really that.
All right, now I got to introduce. He's playing JVs. He doesn't care about the game. You can't care about a game when you've told everybody you don't care about the game and not want a shutout. That is crazier than...
Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. People change their minds, I guess. But when the reality of a 0 on the scoreboard is staring you in the face, I guess maybe act differently. I don't know. I don't have a huge problem with it. It was a meaningless thing in a meaningless game.
I don't have a problem with it. I am capable of understanding it.
Yeah, well.
If he walked naked out as the coach, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I'd wonder what the hell is going on. And I will defer to you as I do to Brian. It's never happened before in the history of football, unless you had a kicker that you wanted to give a practice kick for. Never,
the
not once.
Coach thing might be the funniest thing I've ever heard you say.
Thank you. Sorry, Brian.
So, no, it's fine. I'm amused. So, Rob, short week going to Chicago, and guys taking a week off. Obviously, haven't won in 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
With now limited practice because it's a short week and you have to travel on the short week. What in your view? How are they going to kick the so-called rust off and get some momentum going to beat the Bears in Chicago?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I mean, I don't know how many times as a player you were in the situation where you didn't play and then you go play the most important game of your season after that. It's got to be hard, but these guys are, they're professionals and this was the plan. And, Jordan Love talked to the team afterwards. A bunch of guys told us that, in the locker room afterwards, he pulled everybody up together, obviously showing an act of leadership there and just saying, hey, let's go. Let's get to work now. Brett always used to say when he was the quarterback, he's like, what, you're going to just try harder when it's the playoffs? You should have been trying harder the whole time. And I kind of understand what he's saying, but in this case, you weren't even given the chance to try. So you do need to send that message. They valued health over any possible momentum that you can have by winning a game going in to the playoffs. And like, Matt LaFleur said after the game, I still think it was the right thing to do. He was admittedly spooked by the fact that they lost Christian Watson in a similar situation last year, but now, it's his job and their job to figure it out. It's a short week. They were off today. We got their schedule. They're not really practicing tomorrow. It's more of a walkthrough. So really, you're only getting 2 full days of practice on, I guess it would be Wednesday and Thursday are your work days, and then you travel on Friday. But the Bears aren't coming in exactly red hot either. So I think it's an even game. I really do.
Well, I agree they're not coming in red hot, right? But I always looked at it. There's something to be said about playing an emotionally charged game like the Bears just did, right? I mean, the intensity of that game was a playoff type game, in my opinion.
Yeah, is there any negative effect though to the fact that you lose that game? Like you ramped up, like you really tried to win the game and you lost, whereas the Packers, didn't even try, so they don't have that disappointment. And I could be grasping at straws there, but I was just thinking about it in those terms.
No, I mean, there's positives and negatives to both. I mean, I think there's positives and negatives to both. I just look at it as from Chicago's standpoint, they played it won't be a break-in period against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Like they're not having to do that.
Right.
I guess is my opinion.
You're 100% right there, and that's just the choice that the Packers goes. And if they lose the game, people will question it, and if they win, nobody will think anything of it. I would imagine.
So, what is, I guess, now the injury status of the guys? Like I'm assuming everyone's playing, but who's actually dealing with real injuries, right? I get Jacobs. He's what stands out most to me. I get Zach Tom, but who else is dealing with things that this Minnesota game was a huge benefit break that they should be feeling really good going into Chicago?
I think those are the two big ones that you mentioned. And then I just think taking some wear, some wear off of guys' bodies. Christian Watson came back from a major, major injury, as you know, and he played really well for a long stretch, but giving him a little bit of a break to maybe get out some of the soreness, I think that could be a big benefit for a guy like Christian Watson. Same thing with all those offensive linemen. They only played one of their 5 starting offensive linemen. And I don't have to tell you how much how much a week off could help in terms of just soreness and getting rid of that a little bit, just any little bit that you can get at this point in the season. 4 of those 5 offensive line starters got an extended rest, and I think that has to help. But from a pure injury standpoint, I guess the only other guy, Brian, that I would think maybe was dealing with something that this could really benefit was Lucas Van Ness, who has just battled that foot injury all year. And I know he's been back, but he's been limited, and it's probably not right yet, but at least he got a chance. But I think him and the 2 guys you mentioned earlier, Jacobs and Zach Tom, who quite honestly are 2 of their more important players, I think that was the big benefit.
Yep, I agree with that. And I'm assuming now Jordan Love is he's good to go. I mean, I get the concussion and all of that, but he's in the clear.
Yeah, and it was interesting last week at practice, from the little practice that we did see, even though Clayton Tune was starting, Jordan Love took the first rep in all the individual drills that we saw. Now, again, we don't see the 11-on-11 during the season, but they were definitely getting Jordan, his share of practice reps. And the other thing is, I can't remember if we talked about this before, but Matt LaFleur put in some more ones versus ones practice period, which you don't normally do during the season, but because those guys weren't playing, he did want to keep them a little bit sharp. So, he did do what he could to simulate football for those guys. So it's not like they were just sitting on the recliner and smoking a stogie and sucking a brewski all week.
Yep. What did you make of Diggs' debut and how he did? What did you make of that?
Yeah, I thought it was a positive that he tackled and was willing to tackle pretty well. I mean, especially after what we saw the week before with especially Carrington Valentine, just did not look good tackling. He wasn't tested a ton in coverage. He did play a lot. I don't know if you got a chance to see the coach's film, but looking at it from the end zone shots, he was playing off quite a bit. He wasn't getting up and pressing very much. I'm sure, they did not necessarily want to put him in that situation when you're not sure where your help's coming from, when you don't know exactly the scheme. And I asked Jeff Hafley last week, where cornerback ranks on the positions where you can just come in and play right away. And he said, most people think it's probably the easiest, and it might be, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Even in man-to-man coverage, you still have to know where the help is. You have to know what's going on if someone motions. You have to know what's going on in this coverage and that coverage. So I think they kept it simple for him, but he played half the snaps and looked fairly physical, which I think is a pretty good sign. And we asked Matt LaFleur after the game, is it possible he could start, actually? And he did not rule it out. So I think it's very possible that he could end up being the starter opposite Keyshawn Nixon.
Fantastic. And is there anyone else on defense? Because the defense played well, right? I mean, you got to give those guys their props. Is there anyone else that played on defense that you can see contributing this week against Chicago?
Well, I mean, Brenton Cox had the one big hit that caused the strip sack fumble. Barron Sorrell played pretty well, especially against the run, not so much maybe against the pass. But, I mean, they've been looking for help on that defensive front, ever since Micah Parsons and Devontae Wyatt were lost. And those are a couple guys that at least left the coaches with a feeling that, maybe we could get something out of these guys in the playoffs. So I think that's a good sign.
Yep.
Are they benching Rashawn Gary, or what's the number of snaps that will tell you that he's being benched even though he's not being benched?
It's a great question. I mean, I feel like we've been at that all year. He plays about half the snaps, and that's about it. I mean, I guess if he plays less than that, that tells you what you need to know. But I guess if he plays half the snaps, that's sort of what he's been doing the whole year. But it's another baffling situation, Homer, when a guy.
No, isn't it just fair to say he's quit? He doesn't want to play. He's not this bad.
I don't know that I say. I mean, I can't say he's taken himself out of the game. I don't know that I've seen him do the old jersey tug and say I need a blow. I think it's the coaches are the ones deciding who plays and who
right.
doesn't.
But hasn't he played at a level that even if you just didn't think he would be this nothing?
Yeah, he's been unproductive, and it's a big surprise, and it's a big miss. That contract was a big mistake.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Rob Demovsky. Tune into the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, HR benefits consultant, locked in, narrated by Marcus Johnson. You got to watch the YouTube, know how good he was. Taking on Dr. J and Larry Bird night after night, and no Bucks fan ever worried. Takes you inside the team's pursuit of a championship. Here from the Bucks stars on how competition is building chemistry and fueling another run to win it all. Giannis getting serious about stuff. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. More Bryan Bulaga next.
This is the Homer of the Homer Hour.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvia on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthAndFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University, and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide.
Marquette couldn't keep pace with fourth-ranked UConn, falling 73-57 on Sunday afternoon. The Golden Eagles entered the game still searching for their first Big East win and kept things competitive early, trailing 37-28 at halftime. But UConn would take control early in the second half as the Huskies pushed the lead to 23 and didn't let up. Freshman Nigel James Jr. led Marquette with 15 points, and Ben Gold recorded 11 rebounds. Here's head coach Shaka Smart after the game.
We, missed a lot of layups. We missed some free throws. We didn't shoot the ball well from three, but there was a better rhythm. I thought in the second half it was too much stopping after one action, and UConn did a good job defending us.
The Golden Eagles will look to get back in the win column at home against Xavier on Wednesday. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official bank of Marquette University.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. A new one this season honoring Coach Tom Crean. Third coaching banner with number 77 Al McGuire and Hank Raymond. Crean's 2003 team went to the Final Four. He brought in Dwayne Wade and helped get Marquette into the Big East. An honor for Crean long overdue. And the proper order of what he accomplished, Big East, Final Four, and most importantly, Tom Crean convinced Dwayne Wade to come to Marquette. Medicare won't cover everything. That's why you should consider a Medicare supplement. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance helps reduce those out-of-pocket costs when you need medical care. And it's guaranteed renewable for life as long as premiums are paid. Call Saganiac Planning today, 262-783-6161. Ask about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents nor products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous, as in
Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I got a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities. 300 acres. There's other stuff. Beautiful setting along the Bark River. Endorsement. A top-ranked full continuum community. And it can't be because they got 300 acres. You can have active adult and independent living, assisted living and memory care, skilled nursing and rehab, incredible wellness programs, long list of activities. That's what you can do when you got 300 acres. The most important part everybody understands is an amazing staff and the 300 acres. Get all the info at threepillars.org. And it's the Homer Hour with Bryan Bulaga. And we did our 3 pillars of the game. And I got a complaint that the punter should have been one of the 3 pillars. And my answer was, punter can't be. And just how much did it help? If you don't know that...
honorable mention. Honorable mention.
Yeah, that's correct. I think one of the top 3. That he is, I think, the number 1 punter in the NFL. They do it on yardage. It seems to me that it should be based on net. I mean, the key is how many yards. Like if you ever
rank it extremely high. I mean, because like we said, there were some games he didn't even punt.
Yeah.
So
and he's good. There's no question about it.
Yes, he's a good punter. I'm not taking that away.
I would trade him immediately for a 5th-round draft choice. Would you want more? Would you want more?
I'd have to see where he ranks compared to all the other punters.
No, he's at the top. He's right near the top. He is one of the top punters.
Okay.
How much do you want for your top punter if people come asking? I'll take a 5th.
I would try to be a hard negotiator and get a 4.
All right. The question for you, hard to judge with mostly backups, but did Clayton Tune, Looney Tune as I call him, appear out of his league?
Listen, it's so hard to tell. I mean, there were times where he'd get the ball and a DN would already be essentially sacking him as his back foot hit his drop. So based on who he was playing with, the circumstances, I think it's so hard to judge, but obviously he didn't, I mean, it wasn't a great day, right? Like, I mean,
he didn't have a wow moment. Do you remember a wow moment from,
No, unfortunately.
By the way, the other one, that must be tough. In what quarter will Love get concussed?
Oh, wow.
He's not going to get concussed. He's not concussion prone, I don't think.
No. I mean, that hit that he got knocked out with, that was, it was a breakdown in protection, but at the same time, like, that was I thought, a dirty hit, and it was right on the button. So, like, to get hit like that again, I mean, I don't see it happening again. I don't think that they're
Plus, I want to be on record as I feel like I am a concussion expert. All the ones that I've had, both good and some really bad ones. I think he could have played if they'd have wanted him to the next week. I don't think he had to. I don't think he had to sit out, but doesn't.
Potentially.
No, I don't. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm looking forward to Jordan Love being the difference. I think the difference in the game will be the difference at quarterback for the entire game. The Packers will get better quarterback play from their quarterback for the entire game than the Bears will from theirs, and that will be the difference in the win. But I will defer to you on any, because we'll have all week to talk about it, but any first thought, early in the week thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the X factor in it, right? He played the whole first game. They win the game. Only plays a quarter and some change in the second game, and they lose the game. I mean, there's something to be said about that. And to me, that's why, like, you kind of said it, and I'm agreeing with you. This is their best potential matchup in round one. Like, to play Philly in round one, I don't think that's good. Like, that would not have been good. I think this is the matchup that they wanted, and they got it. And I think how they stack up against Chicago is better than how they stack up against Philly at this point in time. That's just how I feel. Doesn't mean that it's a guaranteed win. Doesn't mean that. It just means that I think Green Bay going to Chicago and getting a victory is more probable. And if Jordan Love is the guy, calling the shots, yeah, I mean, it puts them in a way better position. And that's not taking anything away from Malik Willis. Malik Willis played really good against Chicago. So let me just put that out there.
And I think Watson's health is really important, too.
Yes. I would just run crossers over the middle with Watson all day, out of the slot.
All right, I want to discuss later in the week, and you made it. But just people and players talk about the playoffs. It's different.
Yep.
Now, and you don't think that's exaggerated. You think that's legit. You can feel
Yes.
it different, or something's different from the time that game starts, right at the very beginning, or?
Yes, the intensity, the physicality, kind of the importance of every play. It feels like every play is very important.
Does it hit you the first time you played in a playoff game? This is different.
Yeah, when we went to Philly in that first playoff game in 2010, it was like, oh boy, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
This feels different.
Fisco Auto Body. It's a family business owned since 1931. Not what they do, it's who they are. And they're still doing it. So Fiscos are fixing your car. That's how they can be so good. Imagine how many years. On Forest Home in Franklin, expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. So you remember the name. Yep. Potawatomi Sportsbook Monday with Gary Ellerson and Greg Matzik. They'll explain the field goal. Down 16-0 with 1 second left. Next.
Southbound on 43, backing up basically from Locust